What's up? What's up? This is Bowling for Fruit Q&A. I can never say fruit. Fruit Q&A, episode 6 with Remsen and Nicole. I'm your girl, plant-based Nicole Roche. Remsen will be coming on soon. This is Q&A where we do it bi-weekly. We sit here, we eat our fruit or whatever he decides to eat, and we answer your questions. So get your bowl of fruit or your snacks or whatever you want to chomp on. Get your questions ready. And I would like you to put them in the chat. What's up, Ben? What's up, everybody? So Remsen will be coming on soon. So we're going to be answering questions. You guys get your questions ready. What's up? I have here my choice of fruit for today is some rainbow cherries, some... Sorry, I'm still creeped out by these things. Rambutan, it gives me the creeps when I touch it. It just ain't right. I don't like it. And some grapes. Okay, I see Tribe. Hey, Ribson, come on in, bruh. Gonna request to join. I'm wearing this hat because your girl's roots look toe back. Okay, it's the frizz for me. Getting my hair done tomorrow, so I'm just sick of looking at my roots. I'm like, this ain't godly. Let me cover this up so I don't offend nobody. Yeah, the rambutan, they do taste good. They just look weird and they feel weird. I can't get past the presentation. You know, I mean, come on now. This looks like somebody who ain't shaved their area in a while. I'm just saying. Okay, that was nasty and inappropriate, Nicole. Okay, let me add him. What's the word? Inappropriate. Okay, that wasn't, I shouldn't be talking like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you playing with, what is it? Were you making testicle jokes on the stream here?
I was actually referring to the females.
The unshaven testicle fruit? Is that what that is?
This feels, this is the, have you ever had a rambutan?
No.
I tried it for the first time. That
doesn't look like anything that I would remotely have any interest in eating at all.
Exactly. This is why I haven't tried it for the last several years, right? But I was like, I'm a content creator. I'm trying to open up and be flexible and try new things and share with people. So I tried this sucker, and although it creeped me the freak out and it feels nasty, it's actually good. Let me show you what it looks like inside. It's gonna have a baby.
I know what it looks like inside. It looks like a little white marble.
It looks like an egg.
Yeah.
Hey everybody, what's up? How y'all doing? This is Bowling for Fruit, episode 6. Remsen at Tribe by Noir and Nicole at Plant-Based Nicole Roche. We in the house, you know what I'm saying? Coming to you live with our, right. What you got to eat today?
Making raunchy fruit jokes.
What do you have down there? Oh, it squirted me in my face. What do you have down there?
You see, look at you. Now you just want to roll, you see?
See, now, you done took it somewhere else. That was...
I didn't say that.
That wasn't
put that
me.
On me. I didn't say that.
That's you being nasty. Your mind was in the gutter. I didn't say nothing about nothing. Okay, this one, I don't know about this one. It looks kind of brown. Okay, but anyway, so you open it, right? And bada.
Yeah.
It looks like a little egg. Now, this one, I don't want to eat because the devil is a lie. Look at this brown stuff. What is that? That's nasty. I'm not eating that one. So we're going to just toss that to the side. Booyah.
So you do that. I had not too long ago finished eating a cantaloupe, and now I got my roasted pumpkin seed kernels that I have afterwards.
Kernels. You and your kernels.
That's right, the kernel.
I'm not hecka hungry either because I just ate a half of a watermelon, so I might just nibble a little bit, you know. But
yeah, my schedule got a little wonky today.
Yeah, you done messed up everything. No, I'm just kidding with you. No, it's all good.
You know what it is because the tribe folks, they could just put themselves on the schedule.
You had meetings today? Or you was doing personal stuff?
I
Like,
talk to my people every day.
for real, even on the weekends. Y'all see this?
Yeah.
This is called a rhombaton. It feels like somebody that haven't shaved in a while down there. But then when you open it, it's like a little egg. Now, I don't know the trick to eating it. I just put it in my mouth and chew around the seed because there's this big old seed inside. You got to be careful you don't crack your teeth. But anyway, hey, speaking of bowel movements.
Oh, man, my favorite topic.
I know we weren't talking about that, but I'm about to bring it up. So
My favorite
yesterday,
topic.
me
Yeah.
too. Oh my God, I love talking about BMs. My
Smooth moves.
husband said I'm obsessed. I don't,
I'm all about
Anyway,
smooth moves.
so yesterday I did a fruit day. Every now and then I like to do an all fruit day, although I did have one exception because I still had my yogurt in the morning, but I had it with fruit. But the rest of the day was all fruit. My lunch, snacks, and dinner was all fruit and mostly watermelon. And what I set out to do, I have succeeded, which was just feel better mentally. Like it's like a reset for me. It's not a cleanse. It's not a detox because you can't do a detox and a cleanse in one day. Okay. Well, I don't think you can, but so I did a reset. I call it a fruit reset. I do it every now and then when my body is feeling, it'll just tell me. It'll just be like, yo, I want some freshness. Okay. All that sodium from them seasonings and them heavy foods, call it a day. So my body was telling me, hey, I just want freshness. So that's what I did yesterday. I ate fruit all day. And I feel so good today, like mentally, I just feel good. My body just feels better. That was all I needed, was just like that reset button push. Anyway, why was I bringing this up? Oh, the bowel movements. Because I ate mostly watermelon.
Yeah.
I don't want to gross you out, but why does when I eat a lot of watermelon, it's almost coming out the color of the watermelon? That's gross. Have you ever ate so much watermelon that it looks like watermelon in the toilet, but not as pretty? No?
No.
Because I heard someone else do it. Have you ever ate an abundance of watermelon, though, where you're eating it all day, though?
No.
Okay. So when you're eating so much watermelon, like yesterday I had it for lunch, a snack. And when I say watermelon, I was having big bowls. So lunch, snack, and then I had another big bowl for dinner. And then this morning I had it for breakfast and a lunch, I guess you can call it. And and yeah, I heard somebody else say the same thing, that because they're doing 100 days of watermelon, only watermelon for 100 days. And he also said that it came out that color. And then why are the seeds coming out whole? It was a seedless watermelon with the light skin seeds, but they was coming out whole. Why are they coming out whole when I was chewing them bad boys?
I mean, I don't know. I would imagine you probably wasn't chewing all of them.
It's kind of like corn. Have you ever ate corn? You chew the corn up, but then it comes out in the stool. It's all whole, like you didn't ever chew it. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. If they put themselves back together.
That is
and then they
so nasty.
come out.
That is
it's like Transformers.
So nasty. That is so funny and nasty at the same time. Corn.
You get the whole corn on the cob come out. It's a corn unite.
Sorry, everybody.
Put themselves back together.
Sorry, everybody, for feeling grossed out about the
bowel movement. It's like the liquid Terminator. Terminator 2. No matter what you do to it, you blow it up, you shoot it, and all type of stuff, it just come back. That's what it's like.
It's so funny and nasty at the same time. So I just wanted to, because I guess you've never, I want you to do all watermelon one day and then tell me how your bowel movements are the next day.
I'm not doing that.
Come on.
I'm not doing that. Why? You got to give me more than just watermelon on the plan. I'm not doing that.
Say that again.
Well,
Say that again.
I need more than just watermelon.
Oh, you can't do the mono thing, huh?
No, I don't have a good reason to do it.
So my boy Bobby Smith, who I interviewed, he's on my YouTube channel, y'all. I interviewed him. When I interviewed him, he was on like day 30, 31 or something, eating all watermelon. Now he's on day like 54. And he's going up to 105 days of only watermelon. And I think of it like it's like a cleanse. I mean, it's like a fruit, what do you call it? A juice cleanse, except for he gets to chew it. But I'm just like, I don't know if I could just eat the same thing. Because even when you do a juice fast, at least you're switching up the juices, right? You know what I mean? Are you listening to me, or are you looking at your social media?
I'm looking at him. His name, he's Normal Bobby Smith. Is that who that is?
No. On Instagram, he's Fruit Up.
Now I'm looking him up on YouTube. Let me see if he has a YouTube channel.
On YouTube, he's Fruit Up with Bobby Smith or something. On Instagram,
look him up.
He's look on Instagram. He's Fruit Up 13.
I want to see what it looks like when you just eat like just watermelon for like several months. So mind you, he's a fruitarian already. Before this watermelon only thing, he eats just fruit. And he used to be heavy set back in the day before he switched over. He used to be heavy set, and he lost like 140 pounds by going fruitarian. So, but right now he's doing all watermelon. Then when he's done, he'll go back to eating all fruit. So that's a crazy amount of discipline right there. When you could do that.
That is such discipline, because I can only do all one fruit for one day. Like one fruit, because I get tired of it. I can't do it. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's like eating. So like for me, I think like a good fruitarian diet is like you have a cantaloupe, you have a honeydew, you have 2 to 3 mangoes, you have a couple apples and 2 to 3 cups of grapes, right? And then in between the meals, you have your pumpkin seed kernels, you have your sunflower seed kernels, an ounce of roasted almonds, right? Things like that in between the meals. That's like a good, well-rounded way to eat it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. Everybody can't do everything that everybody else does. Like, I personally cannot go more than like a day eating the same fruit, even though I love fruit. Like, I love me some watermelon when it's sweet and all that, but I can only do it for like a day, maybe 2 at the most. But when I do my fruit resets, normally I mix it up, change it up. Hey guys, this is a Q&A, so get them questions in the question box. Not one person has asked a question so far. What's up with that? So while you guys are getting your questions ready, I have a question, Remsen. So I was on live yesterday. You guys ask questions in the question box, please. I was on live yesterday, and a girl came on my live. I can't think of her name right now, but she was telling me she's eating a vegan diet. She was telling me that she's working with a coach and a trainer, and he has her on like a meal plan, counting macros and stuff. And I asked her how much she's eating a day, and she said 1,100 calories. And I was like, what? I said,
that's brutal. That's brutal. I would never put nobody on no 1,100 calories.
Right? I was telling her that is way too low. Like, I'm at 1,100 calories by lunchtime. And anyway, I just told her it's way too low. Now, what's going to happen? Like, I told her, you might lose weight quickly. You might look snatched, honey child. You might be looking bomb.com, but you're not able to keep that up as a lifestyle. I told her to talk to her trainer to figure out something else, like figure out how much, she burns and raise her calories or whatever, because that's not sustainable. Yeah, she can lose the weight quickly. She might lose like 3 pounds a week, 4 pounds a week, but that's just, it's going to be mostly water, and it's not sustainable. What do you think about that?
I think if you're going to do something like that, you got to do it for a pretty short period of time, right? We're talking like 6 to 8 weeks, 12 weeks tops. You start doing it longer than that, you run the risk of putting yourself in a hormonal imbalance. So this is kind of like the thing too. When people do like an all fruit diet, the rules are fundamentally different, right? You have to eat way more than you normally do. So like when you're on like this all fruit diet, you're gonna be eating like 5, 6, 700 grams of carbs a day, depending on your lifestyle. The longer you do like a fruit-based diet, the more you have to eat. The interesting thing is, so with normal foods, the mineral absorption is pretty low, like cooked foods.
Uh-huh.
So in the cooking process, you can destroy a lot of the micronutrients. So if you look on the package and it's like 170 milligrams of a particular thing, that's pre-cooked. When you cook it, depending on how long you cook it for, it's going to be much less.
Right.
And then when you eat that food, you absorb less. And if you have a compromised gut, you absorb even less than that. Fruit,
Right.
on the other hand, nutrient absorption is a lot higher. It's one of the easiest foods to digest.
Right.
But the thing is, your gut has to build the capacity for it. So you can't just start, 700 grams of carbs a day. Let's just go from 150 or 180 grams of carbs a day. And I'm going to just go straight to 5, 6, 700. It doesn't work that way. You will be gassy, bloated, preggers, okay? Belly button be deep, hard belly, full. You're like, damn. You know that feeling? Got that
Yes, I
distended
do.
belly, that just stay like, man, I think I ate too much. You're not used to it. It's not about how much you eat, it's about what you use, right? That's the name of the game. So you gradually ramp up. Usually I'll start people around hovering in between 250 to 320 grams of carbs a day, and then we gradually increase from there. But that's if we're doing like this 80-10-10 thing, where it's mostly carbs, very little fat, that kind of thing. But that's for specific people. I don't do that for everybody. But if you're doing an all-fruit diet, you also have to keep in mind, fruits are not particularly high in certain things, unless like you're eating like avocado, like an avocado or two a day.
Mm-hmm.
Zinc, selenium, copper, things like this. Omega-3 essential fatty acids, things of this nature. If you're under-eating, you run out of these things because all of your micronutrients are like currency. You go work out, you got to pay for it in minerals. You got to pay for it in your vitamins. You got to pay for it in your amino acids. You read a book, you got to pay for it. You go to sleep, you got to pay for it. You wake up, you got to pay for it. You have an orgasm, bust a nut, you got to pay for it. Right?
Dang, Ripson!
I'm just telling you, keep it real, right? All of it. You got to pay for all of it, right? With your micronutrients. You want to move your bowels, right? Get a nice, drop the kids off at the pool, get a nice thick log coming out. Yeah,
Drop the kids.
you got to pay for it. Yeah, you know, you got to pay for it. You got to be tall. You need to be this tall to ride the ride, right? So
you're coming out with all the sayings today.
Yeah. So when you're chronically underfed, you go broke. Now, it's a gamble. You can eat 1,100 calories a day and not lose no weight. All you do is just drop lean mass and retain more fat.
Wow.
And become insulin resistant. This happens to people.
How does it happen to people when there's anorexics who they get so skinny when they stop eating?
Yeah, anorexic at what age?
Teenagers.
It's usually you can do that. Yeah, because you can do that when you're young and you're in your teens and your early 20s. Once you pass 30, different set of rules.
Oh,
all of this, I'm just gonna cut, and I'm just gonna eat, 3 meals a day, 250 calories, all this stuff. No,
I don't know
whole
what that
different
means.
set of rules. Yeah, when you're
I
young,
don't understand.
Yeah, when
I
you're
don't
young,
understand
you can go
how people undereat. I can't undereat. I never can undereat.
Well, because some people are deathly afraid. Every time I eat, I gain weight. I'm trying to lose weight. and they're trying to eat less. And there's a whole bunch of trauma associated with it. You have people who they've been big their whole life, right? They don't know what it's like to be at a healthy weight. It was never at a healthy weight. There's like I was a fat baby, it's a fat kid, fat teen, fat adult. I've been fat my whole life. My whole family big, all this type of stuff. They have no connection whatsoever with it, with being at a healthy weight. And there's a lot of trauma that comes with that.
Remsen, I have a question. I got three questions actually. Mix and lather. Y'all, I hope y'all paying attention to Remsen because he know what he's talking about. I don't, but he does. No. Mix and lather says, how does eating an all-fruit diet work for a week or two affect someone who is pre-diabetic? How does eating an all-fruit diet work for a week or two affect someone who is eating a pre-diabetic? That's one question. Answer that one first. Do you know?
I mean, for a week or two, you could make some improvements in a week or two. But I mean, when it comes to reversing a chronic illness, if you're serious, you're gonna put in 12 weeks.
Okay, that's 3 months.
If you're serious, you're gonna put in 12 weeks. Don't be like, well, I'm pre-diabetic. I just want to get right below the line. You know what I'm saying? Where you just live perpetually on the margins, right? Like, don't do that. Here's some talk about a week or two. I'm like, look, maybe you got a pimple on your face or something. You change your skin cleaner or something like that for a week or two, see how it does, so you can lose a zit on your face or something like that. You're talking about like pre-diabetes. These are things that are like years in the making. So doing something for like a week or two, I mean, that's not like a serious effort.
That's not enough.
You'll get some benefit. Yeah, you'll get some benefit from doing it. But like you can do it for a week or two if it's leading into another phase of the strategy, right?
Okay.
So let's say, like, okay, cool, I'm going to do a week or two of just fruits and nothing else. And then after that week or 2 weeks, I'm then going to start adding in other foods gradually. So you then phase into another strategy. So you go like strict fruitarian, and then migrate, you start adding nuts, seeds, leafy greens, things of this nature, salads, coconut yogurts, things like that, right? And then you can broaden it out, right? That's a strategy. But you have to think, you have to have more of a long-term vision because all of these gimmicks and corner cutting and all this type of stuff, it's a bit myopic, right? You know, you look at like wealthy investors, even swing traders. These people have not built their wealth on swing trading. They've taken a particular strategy and they've deployed it long term. It wasn't just from a couple trades, right? People are taking long positions where they'll invest in something and they'll wait several months. You got people who they'll get like, you know, they'll invest $100 or $250 or $500 every week into a particular thing, and they're like, I'm gonna invest in this particular thing or this set of things, and I'm gonna do that for the next 5 years, right? You have to have more of a broader vision. Someone doesn't build a business like I'm gonna do this thing for a week or two and see what happens. You got to establish a trend, right? This is why we got analytics. Yeah. We don't look at our analytics according to like a few days or a week or 2 weeks. You got to have more of a, you got to establish a trend, which requires more time.
Exactly.
Because you got to live for the next 40, 50, 60 years.
Oh, Lord.
Right? So all this short-term thinking, it's not going to cut it if you want to make some real, you know, some real change.
Right. Good job. I have good answer. Y'all listening? Taking notes? Okay, Moet 131. I hope you're still on here. Actually, I think it goes from the bottom up. Skittles 1108 says my doc put me on. Sorry, my doc put me on the 1,800 calorie diet. But if you can't eat calories, how to do this? I think she's referring to how you say you can't eat calories. I don't know. I'll repeat it. My doc put me on an 1,800 calorie diet, but if you can't eat calories, how to do this?
Yeah. So you heard my message before, right? So when people say 1,800 calorie diet, they are referring to if you add up the total caloric value of these foods, meaning like you eat a food, and that food, in order to burn through that food completely, you need to apply a caloric burn of 250 to it. That's how they get that number. So it takes a certain amount of thermogenic energy to burn completely through a particular food. That's how they figure that out. The problem is that the calorie count isn't really accurate when it comes to food because, number one, you don't burn through 100% of the food that you eat. Even when it comes to, like, so for example, fiber. 1 gram of fiber has a caloric value of 2 calories. So it takes 2 calories to burn through a gram of fiber. But your body does not burn fiber. So it goes all the way through your digestive tract, sits in your colon, and ferments in your colon, and then it gets broken down by your gut bacteria. But that's not like a caloric value thing that happens in your body. So just that in and of itself skews the numbers. Then you have to think about, well, how good is your gut health? So that's another thing. When your doctor says, hey, just eat 1,800 calories a day, well, 1,800 calories of what?
Food.
Right. Yeah. Well, what kind of food? It matters, right? What is how much magnesium? Because the thing is, the more magnesium you get, the more insulin and glucose efficient your body will be. Now, if you're eating 1,800 calories, but it's got all type of holes in it, you're lacking zinc, you're lacking manganese, you're lacking magnesium, you're lacking potassium, the sodium's too high, and all this, that's going to skew the caloric burn that's happening in your body. It's not going to have the same effect. So the micronutrient profile of the foods that you're eating matters. So it can't just be, even calories and macros is a start, but it goes a lot deeper than that. Right? So my whole thing, when I say you can't eat calories, I mean that in the literal sense, and it's a framing thing, meaning a calorie is a measure of thermogenic energy. You don't eat thermogenic energy. You eat something that takes a certain amount of thermogenic energy to burn through. Right? In the same way where firewood, you can burn it, you can apply a certain amount of heat energy to it until it just becomes completely fried and all the way burnt through, and you have to replace that wood with new wood. But the wood in and of itself is not calories. The wood in and of itself is not the thing that creates the thermogenic energy. That's what I mean. So it's a framing issue. So when people say, I need to get into a caloric deficit, there is no such thing as a caloric deficit. You can't create a caloric deficit, right? Because your calorie burn is what it is. It's kind of like if you are going to walk 6 miles on foot, you cannot do that while having a step deficit. It's like, no, if you walk 6 miles, you are going to walk, you're going to pass the 10,000 step mark. You are, right? The more miles you walk, the more steps you take. So you can't complete the miles while reducing the amount of steps. Doesn't really work that way. Unless you're going to be crazy, you're going to be leaping. You're going to leap this whole bunch of long jumps to try to cut down on the steps. But, well, that's a different thing. That's not walking, right? So it's a framing issue. So I try to get people to focus on food choice rather than calorie count.
Food choice rather than calorie count.
The amount of calories your body will burn. Let me tell you something. The reason why you can't create a calorie deficit is because you can eat 0 calories in a day and your body will still burn more than 2,000 calories in that day. Still. So is that a calorie deficit? You're not creating a deficit because you're not stopping your body from burning calories even though you're not eating.
Because everybody burns a certain amount of calories.
Yeah.
No matter
what. Burning calories regardless of whether you eat or not.
I sit on the couch and stare at the wall all day. There's like a BMR amount based on your height, weight, and all that of how much you burn and your activity level.
Basal metabolic rate. Yeah. Well, you have your basal metabolic rate, but you got to count the amount of calories your body burns when you get up to go walk to the bathroom, to sit on the porcelain throne, and then you got to count the amount of calories you burn while you're fidgeting and playing around with your phone on the toilet. And then it takes a certain amount of caloric burn in order to and start pushing. If you got an extra
thick
log,
at least 10 calories by you.
You're dehydrated, right? Yeah, you know what I mean. The more toilet paper you use, the more calories you burn, right? Right. And
Yeah.
you're getting up, you pull your pants up, and then if you clothes real snug, you have to put the extra effort in order to pulling your pants up over your ass. You're gonna be burning more calories doing that as well.
It's so silly.
So you gotta factor out like all this stuff, right? But none of that has
Yeah.
anything to do with food because it's a measure of just activity. The more activity you engage in, the more caloric burn that happens. This happens independently of food. The,
Interesting.
if you want to lose weight, the goal is to create a blood glucose deficit, not a
What
calorie
the
deficit.
frick does that mean, Rimson? What is a glucose deficit? What does that look like?
So basically, there's a certain amount of blood sugar that you have in your body at any given time. When you eat, your blood sugar goes up. When you don't eat, you get into a fasted state, the blood sugar comes down. Your body wants to maintain at least a 70, but really wants to maintain a 90. That's like ideal blood sugar. A blood sugar deficit is when there's a lack of glucose available from food, and so your blood sugar dips lower, and then your body has to compensate and mobilize fat to convert that into glucose in order to compensate for the lack of incoming glucose. That's what I mean. Because if your body does not use that fat for energy, your blood sugar will just keep dropping until you pass out into a coma.
Oh.
That's what I mean about a deficit, meaning you literally have a lack of blood sugar. So your body compensates and picks your blood sugar back up by mobilizing fat for energy. This is how fat burn happens. So it's literally a deficit. Right? That's what I mean.
Literally. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Rimson. It was your deepness. Rimson. Yeah. Moet 131. Hey guys, put your questions. Thank you guys for joining. First of all, this is Bowling for Fruit Q&A episode 6. I'm Nicole Richey, plant-based Nicole Richey. This is Rimson at Tribe by Nuar. He is a high raw vegan nutritionist. He's the one with all the knowledge. I'm just a little bystander.
No, don't sell yourself short like that. Don't do that.
I know some stuff. You know what I'm saying? I've been in the game for 12 and a half years. You know, I know some things.
I know things.
I don't know as much as you, but I do know some stuff.
You've been vegan for 12 years, right? 12 and a half years.
Yes, I've been eating plant-based for 12 and a half years.
So you've been vegan longer than me.
Oh, yeah?
I'm 9 years in. So you actually have more experience eating plant-based than me.
But I don't have as much knowledge because you've studied specific stuff.
Yeah, true.
But
I'm saying you don't sell yourself short. You got 12 years in the game.
You're right. It's 12 and a half. No.
12 and a half.
Don't forget the half. Actually,
don't forget the half.
Oh, dang. It's going to be 13 years and 3 months.
Look at that. It's like guys with their height. You know, if it's a half an inch or whatever, you got to add that half an inch.
You got to add that inch. Remember when we were young and we wanted to be older? I'd be like, well, I'm 12 and a half. Yeah. Now I'm just like, I'm 48. I ain't saying no 48 and a half. Ain't no 40. No.
There you go.
I'm 48. I'll be 49 in 4 months, but I ain't claiming that half.
Right.
Okay. Moet said, is it best to work out on an empty stomach or with a little something to eat? Wait, before you answer that, everybody, this is a Q&A. Get them questions in the question box. In the question box, not in the chat. It's easier for me to follow. So go on and get them questions in. It doesn't have to be about fruit. It could just be about health in general. So get them questions in, y'all. Okay, Moet said, is it best to work out on an empty stomach or with a little something to eat?
It depends on what your goals are, and it depends on what chronic illnesses you may have.
Okay. Good answer. 48 where? Oh, hey! Thank you, Melanie.
So let me elaborate a little bit more on that.
I'm just playing.
If you have very poor sleep quality, right? You're very overweight. You're chronically fatigued and exhausted all the time. Struggling. Do not be doing no intense exercises of any kind on an empty stomach. That's abuse. It's abuse.
Oh.
Okay? You're not a slave. Don't do that.
Don't do that.
You wake up, you do your deep breathing exercises, you stretch, you loosen up your body, drink some tea, Then, you know, you have your fruit, you do your daily gratitude, right? After you're eating your 8 cups of watermelon or your whole cantaloupe or a couple mangoes with some pineapple. Then you go and you do your workout, your exercise, and things like that. Don't wake up, jump out of the bed, heart racing, crusty
Mhm.
eyed, fatigued, and all of this, and then drag yourself working
Right.
out on an empty stomach with poor sleep quality and all of that. Don't do that
Don't
because
do that.
that's abuse, and the body responds very poorly to abuse. So
Wow.
don't do that.
Don't do that. Okay, good to know. Good
You don't
to
want to lean
know.
too far into like what motivational speakers like you wake up every day 3 o'clock in the morning, you give it 136.9% effort every day, rain or shine. And we listen to David Goggins and whatnot. I'm like, look, it sounds great. Don't do that. David Goggins is telling you that the man is a freak of nature. Okay.
That's the one that lost
Navy's
like heck of weight. He was
yeah,
in the military.
Navy SEAL. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Survived all type of crazy injuries and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And the man has internalized all types of childhood and adult traumas and has weaponized it against any form of failure whatsoever.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
This is not rules to live by your normal average person, right? You can't do what David Goggins does without being David Goggins and thinking like David Goggins.
It's like, don't try this at home. Kids, don't try this at
Right.
home. You know?
You got to be real about who you are and
Mm-hmm.
what your situation is, right?
Yeah.
So people will tell you all kind of stuff. It's like the billionaire. They get lecturing you about financial literacy. But meanwhile, they're a trust fund baby. They got handed a whole bunch of money by their dad's, you know, business empire. And then they got lucky and invested in the right companies that ended up blowing up. And they got a whole bunch of money off of being lucky. And then they used that in order to turn it into a social media empire so they could sell people a bunch of like ebooks and courses and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That works for them,
Yeah.
right? But most of us are not trust fund babies. Most of us did not get lucky and all this
Yes.
type of stuff. So,
Everything doesn't work for everybody.
right, exactly. So what you want to do, you say, well, what is the thing that is going to maximize and give me stable returns without skyrocketing my risk of injury? Right? So I want to lower risk as much as possible while maximizing the returns on my efforts. I want to do both of those things. So what is the best way to do both of those things? Stress management and avoiding abuse as much as possible. Operating out of
Mm-hmm.
self-love and self-respect. Doing things that are sustainable. I don't train at 100% intensity. I actually try to not do that because I have a personality where I often, it's very hard to not do that, right? But
I'm
I don't
glad you
tell
said
people
that.
to do that.
I'm glad
Yeah.
you said that because I don't train hardcore either.
Oh, I do. I do. It's hard for me
I don't.
if I can't stop at 99%, right? I'll be doing a set of any given exercise, and I will go in my head, I might fail this next rep, so I should probably stop. But I could probably do it. Let me see what happens. Right? Now, I'm not going to be training somebody to tell them to do that because that's not actually a thing that you should do. It's not a good idea, right? Because that's how you get hurt. I do it. I'm not going to tell other people to do it because it worked for me. Has it worked for me? Sure. But it's insanely risky. I'm not going to tell other people that because I'm trying to maximize returns while minimizing risk, right? Um, so, uh, personality pathologies aside, that's the main thing, right? So, self-love, avoid abuse, manage your stress as much as possible. Okay, you're not gonna. Oh, I'm just gonna be shrinking my waist and getting snatched and getting crazy in shape just from working out in a fasted state. It's not a magic bullet. It doesn't work that way. You'll work
Mm,
out for an hour and burn a total of like 250 to 300 calories,
right.
maybe 500 if you go insanely hard. It's going to be very
Right.
difficult to do that in a fasted state repeatedly. Not to mention, 1 pound of fat is 3,500 calories. So it takes 3,500 calories of thermogenic energy burn in order to burn through 1 pound of fat. 500 calories ain't nothing. You burn the 500, you're still stuck with the 3,000,
Mm, not the
right?
3,000 though.
Yeah,
Dang.
to 3,000, right? So how many 500 calorie fasted workouts do you need to have in order to burn that 1 pound? So you're putting an insanely amount of hard work into that 500 calorie fasted workout to reach that 1 pound of fat loss. Have fun with that, but I'm telling you right now, that math don't check out too well.
Right.
It takes
Right.
you all week of grueling fasted workouts to get that pound off. It's the
Yes.
easier way to do it. You burn
Yes.
way more fat in your sleep than you do in that workout.
Mm-hmm.
So you know what? What would you rather do? Drag yourself working your ass off in a fasted state, or just maximizing fat burn in your sleep at night? Because when you go to sleep at night, you burn nearly 1,000 calories of fat in your sleep at
What?
night.
For real?
Right? So even if you count from midnight till like 7 o'clock in the morning, that's like around 800 to 900 calories of fat burn. Okay? Now, if you go to bed at like, let's say 8 or 9 o'clock, so you got 9, 10, 11, that's an extra 3 hours. Right? So you probably get a couple hundred or a few hundred calories of that. So now tack that on to 12 to like 6 or 7. So you can burn at least 1,000 calories of fat in your sleep at night. Well, how do you do that? Well, because when you're sleeping, you're automatically in a fasted state. If you finish eating 6 hours before bed, then guess what? Your digestion, for the most part, is complete within that 6-hour window. So by the time you're ready to go to sleep at night, your blood sugar is already in a fasted state. Right? So that's why when I tell people, stop eating 6 hours before bed, that's because by the time you finish eating 6 hours before bed, so that whole 6 hours, your blood sugar is coming down to a fasted state. So by the time you get ready to go to sleep at night, guess what? You're at that 110 to 70 range. That's the fat burn zone I was talking about. And you just ride that fat burn zone throughout an entire night of sleep.
Wow. That's some deep stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, I got some more questions for you. So I forgot who had someone asked in the question box and I accidentally deleted it, but he already addressed about how to be in the blood sugar deficit. So I'm pretty sure you ended up hearing him say that. You probably wrote this before. He said he answered your question. Okay. Heist Love, I responded in the chat, but just in case you didn't see it, you said, do I have videos of my recipes? I do have a lot of playlists on my YouTube, what I eat in a day raw vegan, what I eat in a day high raw, what I eat in a day plant-based. Sometimes I'm just telling you what I ate, but sometimes I'm breaking down some recipes. So go check out those playlists in my YouTube channel. My YouTube is in my bio. Just go to the link tree, click on that, and then it'll take you to my YouTube channel. Hope that answers your question, love. Thank you for asking. Moet 131 in the house again. He wants to know. Oh, okay. He's not wanting to know. He said it is easier to work out in the morning before eating, but I see your point. I'm glad you understand, Moet. And he also said the goal is to build muscle, not chronic issues, just a compromised gut. So he was the one who originally asked you about eating on a working out on a fasted
well,
state.
you're not going to maximize muscle building by training in a fasted state. You're
not going to maximize.
You're not going to maximize muscle building by training in a fasted state. You want to make sure that your glycogen stores are full in order to because stored glycogen in your muscle tissue is going to be a primary driver of training performance. So you should be doing everything you can to maximize training performance. Right? So the only time it would really work if you're training in a fasted state is if you have full glycogen stores in your muscle tissue. So like, let's say, for example, because I've done this also, where I would train every morning in a fasted state, but the difference is I was training real early. Right? So if I'm training at like 5 o'clock in the morning, I'm not really going to eat before I train at 5 o'clock in the morning because I filled my glycogen stores the night before, right? But that's what I mean about the set of circumstances and what your goals are, right?
Okay.
Usually people want to train in a fasted state because they want to maximize weight loss by doing that. Now, it could contribute to weight loss. It could, but that depends on how well you're managing your stress and what you ate the day before. But if your goal is to maximize muscle building, then training in a fasted state is not really going to be advantageous to you in and of itself. It could be convenient for your schedule. If it's convenient for your schedule and you're able to maximize your training performance even though you haven't eaten that morning, go for it, right? But it's not inherently conducive to muscle building.
Advantageous. So if you can still get the muscle definition you need even working out on a fed stomach.
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
I mean, like doing it fasted is not going to make it any more, what's the word, muscle defining than if you were working out after you ate, right? Wait.
No.
I don't even know what I'm asking.
So basically, yeah, it depends on how. So, for example, you train at 5 o'clock in the morning. If you're going to eat before you work out, that means you got to like eat at like 4 or 3:30.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to eat and then go train right afterwards.
Right.
Because and the reason for that is because you don't want to put your body in a state of digestion and then just work out on a full stomach. Because you sending your body your body now has to maximize training performance and digestion at the same time. It's not particularly advantageous to split your body's focus between the two. So because even with your blood flow goes to your digestive system. Body prioritizes digestion after you eat. You go and eat, and then you go to work out. Well, now blood flow has to go to the muscles that are working, and attention has to be taken away from digestion. Your body actively engages in digestion.
Okay.
Right? So you gotta like kind of pick and choose, right? So you got to give your body at least an hour or hour and a half or so, at least 30 minutes.
Remsen.
Yeah.
So you got it going on with the body. Okay, you got your muscle, and I ain't coming at you in a disrespectful way. I'm married. You got a girlfriend.
You don't got to do all of that.
I'm giving credit to where credit is due. No, I'm just playing. So, what did you say?
No, I hear you.
Okay, so anyway, what I was gonna say is, so you've been eating a vegan diet for 9 years, and you're clearly muscular. You know, you got the six pack, you got the arms and the backs and the whatnots. You know what I mean?
The arms and backs.
So I know this already, but for people who are new to our Q&A, I want you to talk to people about how your diet looks, and then talk to us about your workout routine. Like, how do you look like that as a vegan? Like, oh, hold on, before you answer that. Hey girl, body by Murda said same with eating and drinking the same time. Okay, she was referring to what you were talking about just a moment ago. So tell everybody how they could get a body like you. No.
Yeah.
Tell us your diet, like what you eat all day, and then what your workouts are. How many times are you working out a week? What days are you working on what parts? And how long are you working on?
So I go
through an hour workout?
Yes, I go through cycles. So I will deploy different training strategies at different times.
Hey, Edward.
There's not like a one particular strategy that works, because the longer you do any given strategy, the less returns you get from it.
Mm-hmm.
Your body adapts. So when it comes to like muscle building, you have to signal. You have to do something that signals to your body, hey, we need to create more of this, in anticipation that he's going to do this again. Right? So it has to be this habitual thing, because your body will adapt in anticipation of what you're going to do. That's why like consistency is so important. Your body doesn't really adapt to what you did. Your body adapts to what you consistently keep doing. Right.
Say that again. Say it again. Say it again.
Right. So just to reiterate, your body does not adapt to what you did. It adapts to what you keep consistently doing. Right?
Mm. Mm.
It's anticipatory.
Yes. Speak.
So when you have like Monday chest day and you never miss Monday chest day, you're like one of these guys who go in the gym Monday and you do 10 chest exercises, 3 sets apiece. You're doing chest for an hour, hour and a half. You are doing every pressing motion known to man. You're bench pressing with the elbows out. You're bench pressing with the elbows in. You're bench pressing on the upward angle. You're bench pressing on a downward angle. You're doing flies this way. You're doing flies this way. You're doing you know those people, right? It's like, yo, I'm gonna have the most ridiculous chest anybody's ever seen in their entire life, or ever, right? They'll skip leg day, all type of stuff. It's all about the chest,
Okay.
right? Chest day, and them dudes will have phenomenal looking chest. You
And
might
the
have some
legs,
skinny chicken legs.
the legs be like the little tiny little legs.
Yeah, they might have little legs, right? You know what I'm saying? Because look, your body is like, all right, cool. So we all down for building chest. I don't know about all this other stuff, but we built the chest for sure. We got that, right? We got shoulder injuries and bouncing pecs. That's what we got. Elbow pain, wrist, all that, but we got chest.
Okay.
Right? Knee pain.
All about the chest.
I gotta skip leg day because my back. I got back pain. My knees hurt a little bit. Or I got all the excuses, right? But so that's the deal, right? So I have a handful of training strategies that I rotate. High volume training strategies for muscle building, low volume training strategies for resistance training. So for example, low volume would be, I am going to do 4 to 6 exercises on each training day, 25 reps.
Okay. Let me think about that. 4 to 6 exercises, 25
reps for each exercise, right? So if I'm doing, and I haven't been in the gym since like 2021.
What?
So I do resistance bands and body weight.
You're working out at home.
Yeah, with just resistance bands, right?
Wait. Hold up, no. I didn't know this. So you don't use weight? And your arms look like that?
Yeah, no, just resistance bands. And body weight.
Honey child.
So I'm going to get this thick resistance band, and I'm going to do some push-ups with it, some banded chest press. I'm going to do 25 reps. Now, it's however many sets it takes to get to 25. And I'm going to rest 10, 15 seconds as needed. So I'll do 10, 12 reps, start getting a little close to failure, and I'm not able to get that 12th, I'm not able to get past that 12th rep. I fail on the 13th. I take 10 to 15 seconds. I'll pop out a couple more reps. So I'll go from the 12th and hit the 13, 14, 15, fail, rest, 16, 17, fail, rest, 18, 19, until I get to 25. It's intense. It's very difficult, but it's just 25 reps. Right?
And you're doing it with resistance bands, and it's still intense.
Yes, resistance bands, and then boom, you're done. And then next exercise, let's say pull-ups or whatever, or rows or whatever the exercise is. Same thing, 25 reps and you're done. So one exercise for the chest, one exercise for the back, and it's probably going to be like one exercise for biceps, one exercise for triceps, and like an ab exercise.
Okay, so you're doing all your upper body and your ab in one day?
Right.
And just doing
25 reps.
One exercise for each body part.
Right, exactly. Next day,
I like this.
It'll be a leg exercise. It's quad dominant. So it could be 25 reps. I'm going to try to jump as high as I possibly can 25 times.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So I'm going to jump off the ground with all my might, hard, 100%. I'm trying to fly. 25 reps. Okay? That's my leg workout for that day. All right? Next one would be like overhead press.
Wait.
You get a resistance band.
Wait. Before you go on, the leg stuff, what are you doing with your legs? Squats and lunges?
Squats, lunges, power jumps. Like what I just said, where you're trying to fly, trying to jump as far off the ground as you can. Deadlifts, hamstring curls, things like that.
And you do that with the resistance bands too? The deadlifts?
Yep. Yep.
Okay. Okay, go on to the next thing you was about to say
Yeah.
before I interrupted you rudely. Sorry.
So the overhead press. So it could be handstand push-ups or overhead presses or something like that. 25 reps. Right? Rear delt exercise, probably pull-aparts or face pulls. 25 reps. That kind of thing. Right? So pretty much it'll
Mhm.
probably be chest and back one day and then legs and shoulders the other day. So if I'm doing legs and
Chest and back,
shoulders,
legs and
yeah, so
shoulders. Okay.
if I'm doing legs and shoulders, it'll be a quad and glute dominant exercise, and then a hamstring dominant exercise, and then a front and mid delt dominant exercise, and a rear delt dominant exercise. Right? Those are my four exercises. Um, or I may do a hamstring and glute dominant exercise like deadlifts, and then a quad dominant exercise like what I call a QF split squat, where basically you wrap the resistance band around the back of your knee and you do lunges with it, right? And then you extend, as you extend your knee, the band pulls against your back of your knee, and you have to pull
Mm.
against the band to flex your quadricep, right?
Okay.
So,
Wow.
do an exercise like that, right? And so pretty much 25 reps, and you do that, and 25 reps, that kind of structure, you're doing 4 exercises and then a fifth exercise for like abs, or 2 exercises for abs, which would be spinal flexion and then spinal pivoting. Spinal flexion, abs, spinal pivoting is more obliques.
That
Right?
sounds nice and simple, but I
Yeah.
know it's not simple. It's
Well, yeah. I
intense.
mean, 4, 5, 6 exercises a day, 25 reps.
But I
And you can
like
do that
it.
on a daily
It sounds
basis.
so, it's structured, it's straight to the point, it's
Yeah.
easy. I mean, not easy, but just like the flow is easy, like
Yeah.
the setup. I like that.
Yeah.
Wait a minute before you go on. Jonas Sunshine, are you speaking inappropriate on my live? My girlfriend makes me do her several times daily. That's the best workout. Right, get your ass out of my live talking like that. Okay, go on, Brimson.
All
Anyway,
right.
get out of here.
So
Sorry, Lord, for cussing. Sorry,
you're
Jesus. Okay, go
gonna
ahead.
be you're gonna be burning through a lot of zinc doing that. So everything comes at a cost. Like I said, the minerals are currency. So yeah, those workouts would typically take 20 to 30 minutes. Right.
You said the
So
workouts are 20 to 30 minutes?
yeah, they're 20 or 30-minute workouts. So
That's
those are those are really good workouts for people who don't have a whole lot of time to train. So if you're
yes.
like, oh, I got a really busy schedule, I run my own business, I'm taking flights, whatever. I don't have a whole time. Can't be sitting in traffic, commuting to the gym, all of this. All right, cool. Do you have 20 minutes a day? I got the workout for you. 20
Mm.
minutes a day. You build muscle, guaranteed. 20 minutes a day. It's going to be hard. It's just 20 minutes.
Is it hard?
Yeah. It's hard. Yeah.
Hard as in it's hard because it's an intense workout,
Yes.
or it's
It's
hard
hard.
to build the muscle only doing 20 minutes
No,
a
it's
day?
hard because it's an intense workout.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Because rather than stretching it out over a period of 45 minutes or an hour, you're cutting it in half the time. Same amount of effort, maybe even more effort, and you're cramming it into 20 to 30 minutes.
Okay.
Right. So that's one method. The other end of the spectrum is less intensity, more training volume. So let's say each muscle group 10 to 16 sets a week, 5 to 10 reps at a time for each set. So basically, let's say you do one exercise, 5 sets, 10 reps. Each set, you're working in between an intensity level of 6.5 to an 8.5, right? That would be the score. So if I were to rank the intensity on a scale of 1 to 10, it would be within the ranges of 65% to 85%, 90% max. Right? Each set you do, it gets harder, but the volume basically is repeatedly. You're not. This is not very intensive on your nervous system. The other one that I mentioned is very intensive on your nervous system, which is what makes it so effective, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that way of training, you do it for about like 8 or 12 weeks, and you gotta take a break because your nervous system it'll just be shot,
Oh,
right? because it's so intense. It's not meant to just, oh, you can just do this every day for the rest of your life. Eventually, you do have to take breaks.
Okay.
Because your nervous system will be blown the hell out, right? It's like you leave all the lights on in your house all day, every day, and you leave them on maximum brightness. You're going to burn your bulbs out eventually. Right? You know, it's like taking a whole bunch of high-powered electrical devices and plugging them all into the same outlet.
Overkill.
Right? Yeah, exactly, right? You might get a short or something like that, right? Something funky gonna happen. So you do have to take time to recover, so you can really ramp up your nervous system with that maximum stimulus, and then come on. So like this week, I didn't work out at all this week. Took the week off because when I start working out again, we're gonna ramp
it's
back
going
up. Right?
down.
We get real deep in there, right? So when I keep doing these videos, they're gonna be like, Remsen looking kind of freakish these days. What the hell's he doing, right? So pretty much, you know, those are like the top two that I would do, that kind of range, where it's either going to be low intensity, high volume, right? Now the high volume one, you can either train like that 4 days a week or 6 times a week. If you train like that 4 days a week, it's probably going to be an upper lower split or full body. Each muscle group is going to be on average 10 sets of volume. The 6 times a week is probably going to be along the lines of 16 sets of training volume, 6 days a week, which is very intense. It's a lot of volume, but if you're serious about bodybuilding and really sculpting your physique, it's a great option to do. But you can't play around about your sleep and stuff like that. So you can't be up on your phone, binge watching Netflix till 1 o'clock in the morning, skipping meals,
right?
Being in all type of drama, toxic relationships. You got to be on point. In bed, 9 o'clock, on point with your diet, and you eat, and you eat the same things all the time, every day. Very repetitive. Don't be with all of this. I need to try 10 new recipes a week. I get bored really easily. If you're one of these people where like you got to be constantly stimulated and entertained, you're gonna fail. Period. If you're one of these people like, I need something new and interesting every day, you're not gonna make it.
Oh,
right?
Really? You gotta be consistent with the meal plan.
You gotta be consistent. You can't be with all of this. Because the thing is, your diet, your workouts, your sleep, these are not forms of entertainment. Food is not a form of entertainment. It's not a thing that you play around with. All right? Mm-hmm. So when people are like, oh, I'm getting bored, it's food. Right?
We got to think of it as it's fuel. It's for life. What's the word? Eat to live. Yeah, not live to eat.
Not live to eat, right. You living to eat. That's how you end up putting all the extra weight and whatnot and illnesses, right?
Yes, Leroy.
I like to cook with oil and, I like to eat shrimp. And that's why you got the gout and the high blood pressure and the high cholesterol and the diabetes and all that,
not
right?
The gout.
Because you want to play around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
My big toe kind of hurting. I got some numbness. Yeah, keep playing around. At some point in time, we got to get serious. And so, it's this kind of thing where people, they don't, I don't cook. Okay, we'll eat raw. Well, I get bored. You're going to fail.
What's the last thing you said? After I
eat raw.
Get bored? Yeah. Eat raw? No, then you said.
People are like, I get bored. I'm like, well, you're going to fail.
Oh, you're going to fail, yeah. Well, then I don't know what to tell you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because it becomes like a personality thing. It can't be where you have this very short attention span. You're not able to stick with anything for any kind of length of time. You can't do that. That is a personality issue that will crush your goals and dreams on a repetitious basis. You won't be able to achieve anything because you got to be able to stick to something long. Everything can't be a source of entertainment where you get bored. So you always talk about you bored. I don't know what boredom feels like for me personally. I don't know what that feels like.
That's good.
Now, I have a lot of diversity in my diet, and that's probably one of the reasons why I don't get bored. Right? So I eat the honeydew and the mango and the cantaloupe and the watermelon, all different types of apples and pears and grapes and, avocados, nuts and seeds. I eat like 15, 20 different types of foods a day.
And you're building muscle eating all
Yeah.
those fruits.
Yeah, but doing it repetitiously. It's not a form of entertainment for me. I like it. I eat it. It works for me. I stick with
I
it.
love it. I love
I
that.
don't. I'm not in the kitchen cooking 20, 30 minutes a day doing all of this. I'm using all the damn pots and pans in the kitchen, using all the burners and everything, doing all types of mixes and concoctions and put things in Ziploc bags and shaking it up and setting timers. I'm not doing all of that. I'm a grown man. I run a business. I'm on calls all day. And I can't be doing all of that.
I love that.
Right? I'm
Tell us.
cut and go.
Tell
Yeah.
us. Okay, it's coming up a little over an hour. Tell everybody like a sample day for you, and because you know, like I said, you're building all this muscle, and you eat a lot of fruits. Give us your meal plan.
I'm probably getting around like 112 to 125 grams of protein a day. So when people are like, oh, how do you get protein on a raw vegan diet? I'll tell you right now.
Yes, break it down. Break it down, bruh.
I'll eat a melon a day. I do this big smoothie bowl.
Oh, smoothie bowl.
So the smoothie bowl will be 8 ounces of plant-based milk, 2 scoops of pea protein isolate, 2 scoops of PB Fit, 2 scoops of cacao powder, right? Like 2 tablespoons of cacao powder, 1 teaspoon of Ceylon cinnamon, a 1/4 teaspoon of sea salt. What else do I put? 2 tablespoons of raw sugar cane.
Banana.
4 tablespoons of flaxseed meal, right? Or chia seeds, whichever one I have. Then I do a 1/4 cup of roasted pumpkin seed kernels. And then I do, 2 to 3 sliced bananas on top. That'd be like one meal.
That sounds like that was a lot of protein in that one.
Yeah, that bowl's like around like 60 grams of protein.
Dang, for one meal?
Yeah, the melon is like around 8 to 12 grams. Third meal would be like, the third meal is a lot of variety. Because it could be 1 grapefruit, 3 tangerines, and 3 kiwis. That could be one, for example. Or 3 pears, 3 cups of grapes. That could be another one. Or 2 Honeycrisp apples, 2 to 3 cups of grapes. That could be another one. All right. Or it could be 3 to 4 mangoes, right? That could be another one. Next meal after that, it could be an avocado, 1/2 cup of cashews, diced onion, 1/4 cup of diced onion, 1/4 cup of diced bell pepper, 2 tablespoons of nutritional yeast, curry powder, cumin, sea salt. I keep saying cumin, sea salt, turmeric, black pepper, and then I'll do my lentil sauce, which is
that sounds good.
a 1/4 cup of boiled red lentils. Put it in a blender with all the seasonings and tomato sauce. You make a sauce and you pour it over there with the avocado, everything like that. 4 cups of chopped leafy greens, and it'll be like a salad like that.
Yeah.
And that'll be like a big protein meal right there.
This is all whole foods he's naming.
Yeah. I don't do the mock meats and all that type of
You
stuff.
ain't even saying, oh, I eat tofu, I eat the Beyond sausage and all that. He getting his protein from Whole Foods, y'all.
So
it's doable. I love you too, Cherie.
So that could be that would be like an example of what a day of eating could look like for me.
So y'all, it's possible, okay? It's possible for you to have a physique and build muscle. Now, I got some muscles a little bit something, so I don't look like Remsen, but I'm still,
you would be able to build the muscle, but you gotta be aggressive about it. Don't think like you're gonna casually work out. You don't casually build muscle.
Well,
so
for me, my mindset isn't trying to be like,
No, there ain't no trying to be like. Either you do it or you're not doing it.
I work out to keep my physique right.
No. There ain't no keep. There ain't no keep. Whatever isn't growing is dying.
Why are you hating on me?
I'm telling you right now, okay, I'm not sugarcoating this at all right? Because people want to be like, Well, I just want to work out and kind of stay in shape. You're not staying nothing. Either you gaining or you losing,
Excuse
right?
me?
Let me tell you something. You got to push for all the yards, all right? Welcome to the field, right? If you work it out and your dumbbells are like 5, 10 pounds or something like that, you ain't doing nothing. The only time you should be messing around with no 2.5 pound dumbbells or whatever the case is because you rehab through an injury, okay? You have the ability to be at least 4 times as strong as you currently are right now. If you're not trying to, and don't play around and be like, I just want to maintain whatever, because as you get older, you lose.
I'm strong. I can whoop your tail.
Look, you say whatever you want, okay? I know the numbers behind it. You need to be stockpiling lean mass and training your nervous system and your skeletal muscle as much as possible.
I look pretty good. You know what I'm
That's,
saying?
I'm not saying you look bad. I'm not telling you what I'm telling you.
I got muscles.
I'm not telling you what I'm telling you based on what you currently look like. I'm telling you this to get ready for when you're 70, for when you're 80, for when this is what I mean about that long-term vision. Don't be like, oh, I'm just trying to retain what I got now. No. That's short-term thinking that's going to run you into problems.
Oh,
this is like the animal where they were supposed to be stockpiling food before winter. And they didn't stockpile the food before winter, and then winter came and they starved to death. This is what people are on their trajectory with. You got to get ready now. You got to build and maximize your genetic potential now. That's how you preserve what you currently have. Right? So this is what I'm talking about, right? People know about like, oh, I want to achieve financial freedom. Well, what about physique freedom? Right? Don't be like, I'm trying to get in shape and then want to start at 70. I want to try to gain more muscle mass. You should have did that 20 years ago. Right? So you're on the clock. You've been on the clock. But don't live your life act like you're not on the clock. Like you can coast now.
Okay.
Say it. So that's kind of like, we live in a comfortable society. We got air conditioning and whatnot. You know what I mean? We got all this technology. We don't got to do no real labor. So 5-10 pound dumbbells is fine. But guess what? A gallon of water is heavier. So how are you training with something that weighs less than a gallon of water? You're not serious.
Ooh.
Right? So this is what I'm talking about. Can you carry the wood? Right? Can you walk the miles holding weights, carrying jugs? Right? Like, are you equipped to live a human life? How much weight can you put over your head? How much can you carry? Like, what is the integrity of your body really like? We're not talking about what you look like. What can you do? Right? What can you do? How much weight can you pick off the ground? And then now measure your current abilities and say, okay, now shave off 2% of that every year for the rest of your life. And what do you end up with in the next 10 years, 15 years, 20 years? That's what I'm talking about. Right? So have the longer term vision. Like for me, when I train, I don't train to preserve what I currently have. That's not what I'm trying to do.
You're trying to get ahead of the game.
Yes, I'm trying to maximize what I currently have. I'm not trying to maintain it. Right? It's kind of like when I'm working and trying to build my business, or I'm trying to I'm not trying to be kind of okay at what I do. I'm trying to get as good as I can possibly get.
You just messed up my whole.
Right. No, but this is a framing thing. I want to be able to come up with solutions and results for people with the worst chronic conditions. That's why I talk about things like high blood pressure, diabetes, autoimmune disease, all that. That's why I talk about it. Because I want to talk to the people who have been struggling their whole entire life and their doctors haven't been able to give them any viable options. And they're on a bunch of medications. I want to work with the person, they're on 18, 20 different medications. Their doctors tell them they got to have surgeries and all of this type of stuff. Yeah. I want to be able to reverse those people's trajectory. I want to be able to hand those people a plan and tell them, we're doing weekly calls and watch your life change.
Yes.
Right? And I want to be able to be known as the guy where it's like that's the guy you go to when you're out of answers. You don't know what to do.
Right.
He gets you right. He has the receipts for it.
Yes, he
When you go on his
does.
live streams and there's a bunch of people in his comments saying you need to book a call with him, he's the real deal. I want floods of that in my comments. It's building up now. I mean, it's growing each time, but I get the testimonials of people in my comments. If you watch my live streams, people say that.
Yeah.
But we're just getting started.
Yeah.
Because I'm nowhere near, I want to be the guy who's like 70, 80 years old and still look the way that I look now and still saying the same stuff, but knowing way more than I know now. Right? Like that kind of thing, where it's like, oh, you know, the better you get, you got to worry about the government coming and trying to kill you, right? Like that kind of thing. And it's like, well, that's fine. It is what it is, right? Nobody makes it out of life alive. But whatever you do, whatever efforts you put in, you give what you got. Isn't it? You know, but the goal is not to maintain.
The goal's not, okay. All right.
Right? That's not the goal, is to maintain. You able-bodied. You able-bodied.
I need to get
run
ahead of the game. Okay, I will be focusing on my future and getting ahead of the game, you know, not just trying to maintain what I got and all that. I need to go harder. I got you. I got you.
You able-bodied. You got to run. Okay, look. Do you have kids?
Me?
Yeah.
Not biological. I have a 34-year-old stepdaughter, but, you know, I don't like to say step, but no biological kids.
Okay. So you don't have kids.
I don't, and I don't want any.
Right. You free to run.
I'm free.
You don't got to do no breastfeeding. You don't got to be feeding no kids, making sure they get to school on time. You don't got to do any of that. You can just run.
Nope.
Right?
Correct.
Right? So there's no maintaining. You're not on the fence. You're not getting pushed up against the wall by life.
Right.
Right? You could just run. And I'll tell this to people who have kids. But the thing is that when you don't have kids, you don't have to be responsible for somebody else. You independent. You are untethered. You are free to run. Right? So the point is, you do it now because you're free and clear.
Yeah.
You know, when you look at people and they're like, they're on Instagram, you know, they got the bikini that's made out of dental floss and all this. You know, they're all oiled up and tanned and everything, taking all these pictures, and they got millions of followers and people drooling all over them and whatnot.
Showing their butt cheeks.
Right, you know what I'm saying? Just deeply admired for all the hard work and surgeries and everything that they got.
Right.
Get the
surgeries.
that they got, right? And much love and respect to them. But you know what? They didn't get like that because they were trying to maintain something. These people are willing to go under the knife to get what they got. They're not playing.
Okay.
You got these people, they go in, they on point with their diet, they training like it's life or death, and going under the knife, and getting Botox. I'm like, damn. That's crazy. So, they're
doing too much.
Yeah. I mean, look, but they're not playing.
They ain't playing.
They're not playing. They're like, we're having a full spectrum approach. We're not playing. They're not playing. They're not playing. Yeah. Now, I don't think anybody should be going under the knife for anything, right?
Yeah.
That's just me.
That's going to be a no for me, dog.
You know what I'm saying? But look, you got to give them credit where credit's due. They look great. They worked hard for it, and they got it.
Can we say they look great when they had stuff done to look great? Can we give them the credit?
Yeah. Why not?
Because it ain't from natural.
Well, Lamborghinis ain't natural either, but they look good. Right? Let's be real, right? When we go to the movies and we watch the Transformers movies, we don't go, well, Transformers ain't real. It's a dope movie, right? It's CGI, but it still look good. It's still an entertaining movie, right? We go watch Avatar. We don't ain't no blue people running around and whatnot, flying around, all type of creatures and stuff. But it's a cool movie to watch, right?
Okay, Ribson.
You don't need to try to date Avatar, but you'll go see the movie, right?
It's so silly. I got you. Okay?
Yeah. So, but my whole thing, I'm not here advocating telling people get BBLs. And I don't think people should be risking themselves going under the knife. If it turns out great for you, fine, great, right? I'm not advocating for it, but let's keep it real.
I concur.
But like the Bible, there's a moral to the story.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you're Christian or not, there's a moral to the story. And the moral of that story is, yeah, they may look crazy and they doing a lot, but they're not playing.
They ain't playing. They serious about their
they're
business, okay?
not playing. They're not trying to maintain anything. That's not what life ain't about maintaining. Maintain is baseline. That's not a goal. Your body maintains homeostasis, but your goal is not to maintain homeostasis. That's a given.
He just messed me all up, y'all.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
All right. Okay, we need to bring it to a close, but I want to address the Jarrell Sharif Shields. What's up, girl? She always comes on our lives. She said, well, you want to work with me? I have autoimmune and high blood pressure.
Let's do it.
I thought she made an appointment with you. Y'all haven't met yet? The Sherrill, sorry. Now I deleted the comment, so I can't even say it. The real Cherie Fields. I thought y'all had, like, y'all ain't met yet?
Not that I know of. I mean, people could put themselves right on my schedule.
Cherie, go to the bio. Can they go to your bio and schedule it?
Yeah, people put they pick whatever time they want and show up on my calendar.
Okay.
You can go sign
Cherie,
up.
go ahead and book yourself.
Yeah, you can.
Because he can help you.
Yeah, you pick whatever time you want on my calendar.
Yeah.
If the slot's open, you can take it.
So you guys, everybody, again, if you missed it, Remsen is a high raw vegan nutritionist. So this is what he does full time, okay? He helps people heal themselves. He helps people lose weight. And he bullies people like me. No, I'm just kidding.
That's right. People are like, well, I want to tone. What is tone? You mean like a phone? You pick up, you click the button for a dial tone. What do you mean tone? Look, we get
but for real,
strong.
He got
we get trained.
Lots of testimonials. He got lots of testimonials. He got lots of people he's helped. So go hit him up on his bio and book your time with him and get that call in, okay? And tell him that tell him that you saw us on the live. Tell him you saw him on the live with Nicole, okay? Because I'm adding up
let me know.
These referrals, okay? I'm adding up the referrals.
Because she sent me an invoice for all the referrals. I'm paying her in grapes.
I'm sending my invoice. He's going to pay me in grapes. I said you should at least pay me in watermelon with seeds. No. So we're going to bring it to a close. I'm sorry, She-Ra. That's a long answer. How about you book a call with him? She wants you to speak on Crohn's colitis. But we are out of time because we are already coming up on an hour and a half. And I apologize that we can't get to everybody. But we did answer a lot of questions. I hope you guys are satisfied. So hit up Remsen at Tribe by Noir and follow him and book that call if you need some help with healing, weight loss. You just got to get your mind right. Your man messing with you, you need some counseling. He got you. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding about the counseling part. But anyway, all right, Tribe by Noir, Remsen, thank you so much. What you gonna do today? What you got going on?
I got some work to do today.
You just working?
I gotta write a few plans and whatnot here. I got some work stuff, and then I'm gonna go for a walk and.
Yes. Is it nice outside where you are?
It's nice enough.
Okay, because I'm going on a walk too. It's a beautiful day today. So I'm gonna go out there and get my steps in. You have a wonderful day. That's commitment. He's working on a Saturday, y'all.
I'm always working on Saturday. I work
That's what I'm saying.
So sometimes 7 days a week. Yeah.
That's commitment. That means you love what you do. Because I'll be darned. I'll be darned if I gotta. My job is 5 days a week only. Okay. My 9 to 5. But anywho, all right. Thank you, Remsen.
All right. Thanks for having me on.
I'll see you next time.
All right. Thank you. Take care.
Thank you guys for watching today. Thank you for all your questions, your participation. Make sure you follow Remsen. And if you feel led, follow me too. Make sure you guys stay on the lookout for the next flyer of when Remsen and I will be on again. We usually do this bi-weekly. I'm not sure if we're going to take a break for the rest of the month or if we're going to do it again in 2 weeks. But check my wall. check my page for the flyer in 2 weeks. Thank you guys. It's been fun. God bless y'all. Have a wonderful weekend. Okay. Check out my YouTube channel. Link is in the bio. I'll see y'all later. God bless you. Peace. Peace. Peace.